sometimes I like to get on here and just talk to y'all and have a conversation like it's just you and me, Kiki, on the couch talking about our shows, okay? And so I got to thinking, I really want to talk about how Black women are some of the most disrespected women on reality TV shows. I think in life in general, but most recently with this season of Love is Blind, talking more about the reunion, talking how the portrayal of Aaliyah this season really represented to me a lot of how Black women are treated on these reality shows. Now, looking at the context as a whole, is Aaliyah somebody who has things to work on? Yes, but we all have our flaws. We all have things we need to work on. But I think the way she was treated throughout this entire season and looking at it more as the reunion went on, they really didn't care about her. And it shows how on reality TV shows, Black women are supposed to be put in a certain place. You're supposed to behave a certain way. You're supposed to acquiesce to what the environment is asking of you. Not what you need of the environment. Not the whole reason you came on the show, but the reason we casted you. Okay? Now, if a Black woman is just being herself, being idle, not getting involved in the drama, we get less camera time. Okay? When we are not belligerent, when we are not drunk, when we are not fighting, that's when you're boring, you get less camera time. And I think this season of Love is Blind really highlighted that. And also the manipulation of producers and editing. A lot of these shows, the cast in general, I believe, they're manipulated. But as a whole, there was a very much disservice done to Aaliyah from the beginning to the very end. If you look at the whole ecosystem of the show, it's about love, right? Why don't Black love stories matter as much as our white counterparts, as much as others? Why is it that Aaliyah, to me, was put in a position to take scraps, to just be happy with what you have? Just be happy you made on this show, okay? Just be happy you're here now, okay? And on the reunion, it was more about, Uche didn't show up, so yeah, we don't care, okay? You look pretty, sit in your place, be quiet, and engage when we come to you. Even when she was trying to share and talk about what's going on currently in her life, it was more of, okay, girl, yeah, what y'all got going over there on the couch? What are y'all talking about? And they're not talking about anything, but it just shows the level of disrespect, the level of there's not a lot of accountability for other people. There's not a lot of, we want to know genuinely what's happening in your life. How are you been? How are you doing? How did the show make you feel? And that might be my whole therapist thing, but I would want to know more about how were you affected by this show and everything that went on from the beginning, the manipulation of producers and editors for drama. Okay, the drama of this whole like triangulation, this dynamic between these three people is what really was the focal point. And when you really look at it, what would this season have been without these three people? It would have been boring. Yet there is no, I don't want to say a thank you, but there's just no like, we see that we messed up. We see that you got a skewed version of this show because of what we needed, what our capitalist minds needed, okay? And looking at other shows is very similar. Looking at the last couple of seasons of The Bachelor, The Bachelorette particularly, whenever there has been a Black woman on there, until most recently, how many Black suitors are there? How many men of color in general are there on these shows, okay? And then on this last season, it was a shortened season. And then once the season was over, have you seen anything compared to what we see from other people at Bachelorettes on this season? Follow-ups, highlights? No. And I wonder if that could be something to do with that it was a Black Bachelorette. I don't know. But I'm just wondering about when is it going to become a time where our stories matter just as other people's? When we don't have to show our struggle. Sometimes it feels like we have to tap dance in order to be seen. When we are in spaces that are not primarily Black, it's more of, I want to know what it was like in the hood. LaShondra, tell them what it was like growing up for you. The gunshots, oh, it was so hard, right? Tell them. It's like our struggles, our stories become entertainment. Similar to this season with Aaliyah, her story became entertainment. And like, yes, I have said in my previous videos that does she have stuff to work on? Yes. That doesn't take away from her that she should be respected as a person, as an individual, that her story mattered. Her story still matters. And I'm so curious about this self-produced documentary she's going to come out with, because I want to know from her. I want to see from her perspective from the beginning to the end. Not edited, not from somebody that doesn't look like me. I want to know what it's really like to be a Black woman on these shows, because we get, in the beginning, we get the cast photos, we get the grid. Every season, we get the grid. And how many of those Black voices actually end up on the show? Not only that, how many of them end up in successful relationships? So far for me, Lauren has been the only, like, anomaly that has happened. But when it comes to like who we are as people, showing up as our true selves, we're not allowed to do that. And then when we are on these shows, sometimes they choose people who are not this dark, who are more racially ambiguous, who are more leaning towards the not so Black side, personality wise also. Notice that too on some of these dating shows. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and have a quick chat about just like the colorism, the disrespect, the lack of really genuinely caring about our stories as Black women, our love stories, and how primarily our trauma and our pain becomes entertainment. That's what they really want to know about. That's what we really want to, the director, zoom in on her face right there when she's talking about growing up in the projects. Let's get that, okay? But let me know your thoughts. I just want to get on here for a quick second. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know if you like these videos where I just get on here and have this like straight up conversations with y'all. No editing, no extras, just me and you. Like we just chatting like girlfriends, all right? See you next time. Like and subscribe.